Again, my name is Rick Ott, broker owner of RE/MAX Homestead. Today we're going to be talking about tips to help agents working with home buyers in this market, how to negotiate a deal. If you're in a market that's hot, where houses stay on the market a day, 2 days, how do you get your offer in, and some of the things that you're going to face when you're dealing with a smart, very technical listing agent. Some of the things that you see in a hot market is listings that might show up as coming soon. A good listing agent is going to do that. That's how they're going to attract their own clientele and get their own phone calls. What you have to do when you're representing your buyer is first thing, look at your loan type. A lot of your government loans, FHA and VA, actually they have a harder time getting the offers accepted over conventional and of course a cash offer. And so you have to look at that, and when you've got a government loan buyer, it's actually going to be a little more work for you, but if you're really doing this right, you're going to do it. And one of the things you have to do now that maybe you didn't do so much before, not everybody's like this, some agents always did this, I didn't, but you go out and you show houses, and you got to go back, and if your buyer say, I want this house, do a quick market analysis. You saw the property with them, you know what you're working with. Find out what you think the maximum potential value for that property is, because that's going to come in handy later. When you're writing an offer, especially on a VA or government loan, the tendency right now is to overbid, and I've seen people overbid $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, which in my market is a lot, and I've heard stories of people in bigger markets like Austin, Dallas, LA, overbidding $50,000. That's insane. But these are deals where they're either paying cash or they're using a conventional loan type, and so you understand they want the house, they're willing to do that. If you've got a VA or FHA loan, that becomes a little harder. How do you guarantee that your client is going to be able to pay if it doesn't appraise? And so one of the things I think you ought to do is do a market analysis, and then go back to your buyer and say, hey, this is what I absolutely think this house is going to appraise for. Do you have the difference in cash in case this doesn't appraise? Can you pay the difference? And oftentimes, you know, your buyers are going to have to either forego an option period or shorten it. That doesn't mean don't have a home inspection. That just means that you're going to have to prepare your clients that, hey, you're going to make this offer, there's no option period. You can still do your home inspection, that protects you, but if you terminate, you lose your earnest money, and there's a good chance that, you know, you're really not going to be able to submit a repair amendment. You know, other things, like I said, overbidding, no option period. We're seeing situations where sellers are saying buyer cannot view the home until offer is accepted. These are a lot of things you're going to have to prepare your clients for. Probably even 2 years ago, we really weren't having to deal with that. And so when it comes to doing these loans, make sure you know that they have the money to pay the difference. Make sure they understand, you know, hey, this is what I think this is going to appraise for, regardless of what we're bidding, you know, and be smart about that, and really kind of educate your buyers and prepare them. And make sure they understand as well that, you know, hey, this may be a situation where you're having to forego an option period. They may want more earnest money. Something else we've seen, higher option fee, lower earnest money. That means you're giving that money directly to the seller. You know, maybe you're giving them $1,000 option fee and maybe only $1,000 earnest money. And so no matter what happens, you run the risk of losing up to $2,000. These are the things you have to do in such a competitive market. Something that I think a good tip for a buyer's agent is start reaching out to other brokers and asking them, hey, I've got a buyer, this is what we're looking for, let me know if you have anything. I see agents doing this all the time. It's good. It doesn't always work. A lot of brokers are trying to keep as much in-house or pocket listings that, you know, as far as following the rules, that they can do that. And so start reaching out to them, start posting on social media that you've got a ready, willing, and able qualified buyer willing to spend this much for this type of home. You never know, you may end up with a listing doing that. And the direct mail, outside of all of your, well, I'll say the bad word, Zillow, outside of all of that stuff, start hitting your clients with direct marketing and pulling back on the internet marketing, because you're going to spend more for less. Your ROI on average with Zillow is under 1.5%, when it really should be, you know, 4 times or 10 times, you know, as opposed to, I'm sorry, percent, as opposed to 1.5 times. That's a terrible rate of return. And so start doing things to attract the listings to match with your buyers, and that's going to be your first success tip right there. So remember, make sure that, you know, if you've got a buyer that's using a government loan type, run the numbers on the house they want to buy and make sure they have the difference in cash just in case they need it. And, you know, outside of that, making your offer stronger, obviously less concessions is always going to get you further. No home warranty, no closing cost, no repairs. That's all I have for today. Just again, let me know if you guys have any questions. Thank you. Remember to like this video. Don't forget to click subscribe and tap the notification bell.